I think tattooing is born when the human being has born. Like after we discovered the mummy of Ozzy that has over 2 million years ago, and it got therapeutic tattoos all over the body, is the proof that the human, when start to express the need of any kind of expression, like probably even when they start to do the rupestic cavern and everything, people start to get tattooed. We see in so many different cultures all over the world. And of course in Europe, the first one that bring tattoos was Captain Cook when he went to Tahiti, and blah blah blah. We all know what happened after that the English start to be interested in tattooing, and then with all the different colonies they start to know more and more about tattooing. But I think the huge revolution it started over 100 years ago when Samuel O'Reilly did the first tattoo machine, and it started to develop usually with sailor, with prisoner, and in the army. Then tattooing got the second biggest revolution, that it was during the beginning of the 70s, thanks to Don Edardi. Don Edardi has been the first one. He came from an art school. He was a fine art artist, and he started to think that tattooing could be not just image, take on the wall and put on skin, but everybody could create their own image of tattooing. And I'm talking about 72, 73. His first claim was "wear your dream." Like, he tried to explain to people that they could have an idea, and the tattoo artist could make an interpretation of this idea and make it on skin. So with Don Edardi we start a new area after him with Cliff Raven and all the new generation like Bill Salmon, Jack Rudy, and everybody start to develop more and more tattooing. Even at the time was still something very underground. The last biggest revolution I think was during 2005, when Discovery Channel for the first time put on the air the first reality show with Amy James called Miami Ink. Tattooing went in every home, on TV and everything, and everybody started to realize that tattoo was not just an underground culture from bikers, from few people, but it reached any kind of level of society. And the develop we got from 2005 till today has been huge. What brings to tattooing all this revolution? As everything, evolution is never only or nice or bad, bring good things and bad things. I think the good thing that it brings is that so many artists now are involved in tattooing. You could see such a high level of tattooing on anything, on any style, on every year. I'm so impressed about new style, new skills, new things. And this is amazing for tattooing. There was supposed to be one tattooer here, is not, because he just got a confirmed exhibition at the MoMA in New York. And I had the honor and pleasure 2 years ago to make a huge exhibition at the Somerset House in London, and Le Croix Branly in Paris did a huge exhibition about tattooing. I mean, tattoo enter any museum, any art museum, and is really recognized as an art form. And this is amazing. This is what we always wanted in the 90s. I started my career in 93. At the time I always loved tattooing, and I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but I was not able to draw. And I knew that if I was starting to be a tattooer, I was going to be only a mediocre tattooer, and I never wanted to be a mediocre person in my life. So at the time there was nothing, and I started to think, what can I do for help the tattoo world? This is why I had the chance to talk with an Italian publisher, give to him the idea to make a tattoo magazine. he trusts me. I don't know, he was probably really crazy, but he trusts me. And I was the first one that did a tattoo magazine in Europe. Luckily, after 2 years, we were in free language all over Europe. And after 5 years, we were in 5 languages all over the world. And that was my first step to teach tattooing, what was the right tattooing, what was the high quality tattooing. After that, I started to thought how I can continue to teach this, because yes, people read, but how I can show in another way what are the level of tattooing today. This is why 13 years ago I decided, together with Marcus Berryman, my partner, to do the first London Tattoo Convention. I choose London because I think it's one of the, London and New York are the 2 centers of the world, and of course London is much more closer where I live. And so for the first time I invited, at the time there were 280 tattooers. They were the best of the best, but not only technically. I took all the biggest tattoo legends. They were coming from all over the world, from America, from Canada, from Brazil, Australia. I tried from the first edition to show all the different techniques, not only by machine and style, but also by hand. There were Polynesian people, they were from Samoa, from Thailand, from Japan. There were the Ryoshi family, the Orikoi family, everybody. So I gave the chance to anybody that was going to enter the London Convention to understand in 3 days what tattooing was about. That was 13 years ago. That always been what I wanted to do. This is why we grow year after year, and this is why I think London Tattoo Convention became so famous, because even today I do a huge research to find any single artist. I mean, London is the only convention you cannot buy your place. You cannot call me and say, listen, how much does it cost a booth? Oh, I need one. No, I select every tattooer one by one. And how do I select them? I have many different follow-ups to decide who I need to invite. First of all, I want to invite the best of the best that has invented a style. This is why every year there are people like Philip Le. This is why there is 1010. This is why there is Aaron Bell or Jack Rudy, because are the one that invented, Jack Rudy, the fine line, Philip Le, the Japanese style in European like he did, or 1010 was the first one that did realistic. After that, the second generation that are recognized as the best in every style, like Nick Hurtado, Carlos Rojas, or Mako, or Steve Butcher for realism, etc., etc. Then I try to invite, again, all the biggest guys that are doing tattooing in totally different technique. Like we have Sanya from Mexico that is doing a research and a tattoo exactly like the Indio doing Amazon since 1,000 years. We have the Ryoshi family that tattoo with the Tebori technique. We have the Polynesian from Samoa. We have the Thai monks that work in by hand, like exactly like it happened in the Thai temple. And this, because I want that anybody that walk in London will understand just in 3 days what tattooing is about. They should, of course, be very good in the technique of the tattooing, but this is just the first thing. Second thing, I try to invite all the new tattooers like Julian Sibert. This year there is Nisako, there is Gakin, that are new tattooers, but they create something totally different. They invent something totally different. They start with a totally new trend. Like, I had the pleasure that I launched in my convention some of the artists that right now are so well known, and before I invited them, nobody used to know them, like Shige. Shige, before I start to invite him in different conventions, in Europe nobody knew who he was. He was a Japanese young guy, also very shy, and he was doing amazing stuff, not just because he was doing great tattooing. He had his own style that now is like a school. You can say the Shige school. Same as Volko and Simone. They invented the trash polka. And before I invited to London, not many people knew about it. Same as Julian Sibert right now, same as Gakin, Nisako. I mean, I try, this is why it's very difficult. I'm not just waiting to get requests and accept. I spend hours and hours on internet to find the new guys that do something new, that I know they will be the start of a new style in tattooing. This is what really interested me. It changed a lot, even tattoo convention changed a lot. Like in the past, there were kind of a circus, a family. I remember in the 90s, we were traveling all together from one city to another one. There was Amsterdam, the weekend after Berlin, the weekend after Helsinki, and you could find the same tattooer in every convention, and it was just like a big family circus. And nobody cared about who was winning what contest. Nobody cared about who did the best piece. Nobody cared about this. Tattoo convention was just meaning having a good time. Unfortunately, this in so many conventions it got lost. I see in so many convention people, they don't really communicate anymore each other. They barely know each other. And this is why in London, actually, what I try to create is exactly that atmosphere. This is why I invite all the time, even old-timer and everything, because I try to bring the feeling that used to be in tattoo convention in the 90s. And this feeling, I can feel it in not many conventions. I have in London, I have in Paris, I have in Bologna, but in not many other shows, because nowadays, a lot of young artists are just interested to win the contest, because they know if they win the contest of London, their follower on Instagram will increase of 30,000 followers. I mean, and in a way, it's kind of funny that I see tattooers that come here, they want to do a back piece in 3 days because they want to shock the jury, they want to win the contest. In the other way, I feel a little bit sorry for this, because I think tattoo convention were done just to tattoo people and having good time. And to me, it's not really important who win what. I mean, I never choose an artist in London because he won how many contests or because you have so many followers. I don't care how many followers you have on Instagram. I don't care about how many prizes you win. I just care about who you are and what you do. That's it. The first thing that's been lost, I think, unfortunately, is ethic. Because tattooers always had a huge ethic, lots of rules not written, but were sacred for many tattooers, and all this rule has been lost. Like, just give you a small example, there was no tattooer that was going to tattoo hand, face, neck to anybody if he did not have at least 90% of his body tattoos. Now the kids is the first thing they want to get. And young tattooers are happy to do it, because they know if they make a big face tattoo, it's going to get much more like on Instagram than a nice back piece. And this is getting lost, and so many other rules that were not written got lost. The reason of this is because before, if you wanted to be a tattoo artist, you had to find a legitimate tattoo studio, go in there, asking to be taken and to be taught by this tattooer. And the first thing was teaching was the ethic rule. Nowadays, all these young tattooers, they just go to tattoo school, they just learn through internet, YouTube, and nobody teach any ethic role. So this is the first thing that I feel is a pity that has been missed. Second thing that I think tattoo lost a bit is his magic. Before it was something unique, it was something, it was showing something you feel like a proof of love, a proof of hate, something that happened to you. Now it's not anymore like this, because many people are getting tattooed, they don't even know what. They just go to the tattooer, hopefully, especially if it's a high tattooer, which ask, do whatever you want. It's the tattooer that choose what they have to do. So a lot of people don't realize that they are just wearing the ego of the tattooer, not anymore what they were supposed to wear. So I see so often so many beautiful tattoo technique, beautiful, perfect, but at the same time so boring. I mean, I used to see in tattooing many times, I remember in the 90s, a Madonna done by hand on a gypsy guy, and you could see what was behind it. Now you see full sleeve, full back piece, and you think, what there is behind this? Unfortunately, not much. But maybe because I've been lucky to live the renaissance of tattooing that were the 90s. Unfortunately, a lot of people doesn't realize anymore this. So what I really hope is that all the people that continue to get tattooed will be more aware about what and how is important is tattooing. And they try to make more research before getting tattooed. Also because now with a technique that everything looks perfect, but it's just perfect for a photo on Instagram. Hanky Panky used to say that tattoo should be warranty 14 days after the rigor mortis. I see so many tattoos that are not warranty even after 14 days after it's done. 5 years ago, I could never expect tattooing what it was today. Tattooing is like everything else that now is massive, even technology. It's difficult to say where technology, what it will be in 5 years, right? And tattooing is the same. But what I think, sooner or later, it will reach a peak and it will start to go down massively. Why? Because the magic of tattooing, it was that it was unique. And as I said before, tattooing is not unique anymore. It's massified. It's full democracy. Everybody wears the same thing. So I think soon the new generation will be bored about tattooing. Because I was bored about what music was listening to my father. I wanted to find my own thing. What was cool? The underground thing. Tattooing is not underground anymore. So I think soon the massification of tattooing will have a stop. A lot of people that are inside tattooing just for business, not for love, we will leave. And soon it will become, maybe in 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, but it will become underground again. And I'm really looking for it, if I have to be honest. To me, still something magic. A dream. The dream you had since you're young, and you still do. I did such a beautiful life thanks to tattooing. I live in a dream. My life is a dream thanks to tattoo. So I don't have really a religion, but do I believe in a tattoo god? Yes, I do. I believe in a tattoo god. And I always know that if you take, you have to give back. This is why I try to maintain the culture of tattooing, the ethic of tattooing so high, because tattooing gives me so much that every day is my turn to give something back to the tattoo world. This is what I'm trying to do since 25 years. I don't know if I do it good, but I just try to do my best with my heart. This is who I am and who I always be.